When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
It's been said that the rise in popularity of fringe politicians like Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, Nigel Farage and Jeremy Corbyn is representative of a disillusionment with the status quo, a protest for change. This makes sense until you consider that all the politicians pulled in from the fringe are being pulled from different sides and have completely disparate goals and interests, which seems to point to the idea that people don't necessarily want unified change towards something, but change from something instead. This also makes sense until you consider that people have always wanted change from something. It's in people's nature to consider a world better than the one they inhabit and fight towards it. So could it be that if nothing has changed in what people desire or despise, has something changed in the way that change itself is presented to us? A gulf of political divide has always existed, but the way in which the information about that divide, the studies, the political parties and candidates and debate are presented to us is constantly changing. What we're seeing is the democratization of information, where what's presented to us isn't decided by a metropolitan elite at the heads and in the bodies of national papers and television stations, but decided by algorithms that show us information depending on its relevance or popularity. This shift in media, away from the metropole and into the hands of the populace, does come with a caveat. Populism can be dangerous, whereas an elite control of media has its own obvious and far-reaching problems. Content providers pandering to populism means the proliferation of short soundbites, funny clips, or outrageous comments or clickbait headlines. In the new age of social media, publishers have to compete with a far more personalised and competitive batch of headlines and stories, and the stories presented can suffer from that. I think what we're partly seeing is the rise of a sort of social media tabloidism, which can explain why fringe politicians get the attention they wouldn't have gotten in the past. The sort of ideas they disseminate are usually idealistic or unobtainable, or they say things outrageous or politically incorrect. Things usually considered to be outside what's called in politics the Overton window. In the end, what the democratization of information does is put more responsibility on our own shoulders. As it enfranchises us more and more efficiently, it also means a like or a share or a retweet is more than a flippant click. It's a vote. It's political participation. We're moving into a new era, from representative democracy to what John Keane calls monitory democracy, where everything everyone in the public eye says, does and acts on is qualified, quantified and judged. It's the age of surveys, focus groups, petitions, retweets and shares. Of course, intense public scrutiny of this new kind is nothing but good, but it is new and it does come with its own problems. As fringe groups and individuals have the ability to become more vocal, other voices get drowned out and the struggle for power, the diversity of viewpoints, becomes more intense, more competitive and more fractured. This feeds into the problem of politics, especially in large nation states, being a game of compromise, of give and take. There has been a lot of research into what Facebook and Twitter have given us, even before they existed. This is what's commonly referred to as the wisdom of crowds. A crowd is wise, so the story goes, because they'll guess better than the individual the weight of the bull at the country fair. When someone asks the audience in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, they almost always end up with the right answer. But these are questions of fact or logic with a simple 4 answers. In Embracing the Wide Sky, Daniel Tammet points to problems with the wisdom of crowds. For example, experts can be overruled or even wrongly punished by the crowd or the Facebook community, whatever you want to call it, because what they say is unlikable or critical of the status quo, or they're someone popular. These are matters of emotion and subjectivity that don't have an effect on the audience of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. When a question doesn't have a right answer, subjective questions of art or culture or politics, the crowd can become influenced by the crowd itself, or by presentational values of style or fashion, or even non-fashion, that ultimately don't hold much importance.
I dress what I believe to be in a comfortable way.
This new era of information dissemination may be the first era of true democracy. The line between politics and celebrity is blurred as people get more of what they like, read and share. But it also puts added responsibility on the electorate's shoulders to become more informed about the ideas they like, read, share and support. Politics, first and foremost, is about cooperation, give and take, a common-ish goal. And this is something some of the emergent fringe politicians seem to lack, whatever side of the political spectrum they come from. For some, it becomes just about getting the job done. Easy. If you like these videos and would like to support me making more, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook by clicking the links in the description below. You can like this video and subscribe to the Then and Now channel to see more. And if you're feeling really generous, you can pledge as little as $1 towards the creation of each new video. You can click here to find out more. Thank you.